Hello and welcome to the race analysis of the Russian Grand Prix. I'm the Bosnian dude from the channel and let's jump right into it. So, tire choices. Hamilton and Bottas both went pretty conservative when it comes to their tires. Vettel, only one set of softs. Maybe that was a mistake. Not maybe. That was a mistake 100%ly. He didn't know how the softs would do on the car because obviously he had to save them for the race. Hulkenberg and Sainz, 10 sets of ultras. No, hypers. Hypers, I'm sorry. I hate rant. I hate these tire names. Why can't we just have soft? No, hard, medium, soft for every race. I don't care what the compounds are. I don't care if they use ultra hard, super soft, and hyper soft. Let them just be hard, medium, soft. That would make so much more bloody sense, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. So let's jump right into the qualifying. And in Q1, well, Hamilton beat last year's pole time by 0.8 seconds, which is quite a thing to do. The two Red Bulls, P3, P4, doing pretty well, even though they knew they were soft from the back. And then the Ferraris, who were dreadfully out of pace in Q1. Eliminated were Brendan Hartley, who actually complained about vibrations on his Toro Rosso car, so maybe that was the reason. Alonso, Sirotkin, Stoffel van Dorn and Lance Stroll went out. And Renault, well, they didn't do that well, did they? Sainz and Hulkenberg only P14 and P15, with the master Charles Leclerc P7, magnificent. Q2, well, Hamilton did an amazing job again. Bottas, wingman job again. Vettel and Raikkonen, yeah, why not? Sure. They went out on ultras, so they would start the race on ultra softs. Late in the session, both Mercedes and both Ferrari went out once more on hyper softs, but all four cars did not complete the lap. Obviously, the two Red Bulls did not compete in the session because they have penalty points. They will start from the back. Pierre Gasly did not bother going out as well, and maybe a bit of a surprising entry, the two Renaults didn't go out, Sainz and Hulkenberg. They wanted to have P11 and 12 to have the free tyre choice for the race, but I guess that was probably a mistake. Charles Leclerc, again, magnificent, and even Marcus Ericsson got through to Q3 for the first time in like ages, for the first time since the 2015 Italian Grand Prix. Both Force Indias, Racing Point Force Indias, and Haas cars also made it to Q3. In Q3, well, Ferrari, a second off in Q1, 4/10 off in Q2. Nobody really knew what to expect, but the Mercedes was just way too fast, and Yeah, everyone expected Lewis Hamilton to make another magic lap like he did in Singapore, but it didn't turn out that well, did it? Uh, Bottas, uh, Bottas took the pole position ahead of Vettel. I'm talking bullshit. He took the pole position ahead of Hamilton, then Vettel, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Ocon, Leclerc, Perez, Grosjean, and Ericsson. Ericsson just went out once in Q3, I guess. He wasn't really used to doing Q3, hadn't done it in ages, you know. And yeah, Kevin Magnussen qualified in a fantastic 5th place. Charles Leclerc 7th. Could have maybe done a bit better. I'm not really so sure about it, but... So, the starting grid for the Russian Grand Prix was Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Räikkönen, Kevin Magnussen, Esteban Ocon, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Romain Grosjean, Marcus Ericsson, Carlos Sainz Jr., Nico Hülkenberg, Sergei Sirotkin, Lance Stroll, Stoffel van Dorn, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen, and last place, Brandon Hartley. And off we went into the first lap. Honestly, not much happened. At the start, Vettel was alongside Hamilton for like a short while, but coming into turn 2, and then after that, the long turn 3, turn 4, Hamilton stayed ahead of Vettel, and it stayed like that almost the entire race. Verstappen, great starts, honestly. Congratulations, he made up like 10 or 9 positions in 3 laps, which is astonishing. Toro Rosso, well, both Brendan Hartley and Pierre Gasly had brake fluid overheats due to a stuck piston. Unfortunate, both cars had to retire, well, honestly, in lap 1 or 2, so that was... Gasly was quoted saying, "Since the start of the race, I had a really strange feeling with the brake pedal. It went pretty long and got worse very quickly. Then, on the 3rd lap at turn 4, I braked and the pedal went completely flat, so we lost all the front brakes and had to retire the car. We need to have a look at the data to see exactly what happened, but it's just a shame to see both cars retire so early in the race." Brendan Hartley was quoted saying, "I had a good start and passed Pierre before turn 5. I was attacking the McLaren when the brake pedal went long. I reported it on the radio and then made our planned pit stop. We were going to try and be a bit cheeky with the strategy and do almost a full race on the softs. We had great tire life and pace and I think it would have worked. However, once I left the pits, the pedal went completely to the floor. The rears locked and the car spun. The same happened across both cars at the same moment, so I'm sure the team will quickly diagnose it, sort it out for the next race. We're all excited for Suzuka with the upgrades and performance we saw on Friday." So, a bad weekend for Toro Rosso. Really bad weekend for Toro Rosso. But what could have been worse? I mean, it could have been worse. They could have smashed the cars to pieces. But there were the only 2 cars that did not finish the race, were the 2 Toro Rossos of Gasly and Hartley. As Verstappen continues his battering of the midfield, he killed everyone, like, just went past Hülkenberg, Ericsson, Grosjean, Perez, Ocon, Magnussen, and Leclerc with absolute ease. I can't really believe it. It was so easy for the Red Bull to simply go through the field. And then not really much happened in the race until, well, the pit stops came along. Ferrari and Vettel didn't make the first move. They didn't do the first move. Actually, it was Bottas who switched tires up first. He was faster than Hamilton and Vettel, so Ferrari made the move. They got Vettel in. Vettel, decent pit stop, could have been faster. They got out, and Vettel, blistering pace, but Bottas actually slowed down to slow down Vettel. And as I said, Bottas slowed down Vettel, but didn't work out. Vettel still got out ahead of Lewis Hamilton. But it was pretty clear that he wouldn't be able to hang on to that position. A lock-up into the braking zone after the second DRS zone meant Hamilton got closer to him. He got further away from Bottas, so he did not have DRS. Then the sprint down to turn 2, Vettel defended, pushed Hamilton almost into the wall. And then turn 4, he left the door open. Hamilton got the advantage, went straight through it, through the open door, and there was it basically. The whole time, Max Verstappen did not change his tyres. He started on softs. He stayed out for quite a long time. And with the time, Bottas, Hamilton and Vettel were catching up to Max Verstappen. And of course, Bottas caught Verstappen, couldn't overtake. Hamilton couldn't overtake Bottas. Vettel coming closer to Hamilton. So what do Mercedes do? They tell Bottas to get out of the way because Hamilton has blister on the tyres. And Bottas does it. Like, I'm trying not to be biased here. I'm really trying. But he's a pathetic driver. That's pathetic. You cannot. Like, I would understand if like Hamilton was 2-3 points ahead of Vettel in the championship or some points behind, that they tell Valtteri, okay, get out of the way, we need the points for the championship. But they have a quite big lead and they still tell Valtteri to get out of the way, and he does it. Pathetic, honestly, just pathetic. Can't believe it. I can't believe it that he actually did it. I mean, yeah, it's better for the team, but I don't know. And then the two Red Bulls came in, switched up tyres. Ricciardo and Verstappen did some blistering laps, I believe. Bottas in the end got the fastest lap, which a bit of a surprise. Bit of a surprise that he didn't let Hamilton have that one as well, but I guess you can't have everything. So the fastest lap was set by Bottas on the soft tyres. 4 laps before the end, it was a 1:35.861, around 0.5 seconds faster than Hamilton and 0.12 seconds faster than Vettel's fastest time. Well, all in all, probably the most boring race of the year. Nothing happened. Well, I mean, if it weren't for Verstappen and Ricciardo, who started at the back, nobody would have overtaken anyone. Yeah, the Renault of Hulkenberg was going in P7 because they started on a different strategy, but as soon as he switched up tyres, he was like P12, 13 and finished in that position. Same goes for Sainz. Perez and Ocon were not allowed to race each other, so Ocon once let Perez through to try to overtake Magnussen, but didn't work out, so Perez gave the position back, I believe. All in all, just a boring race, and the final classification was Hamilton first, Bottas second, Vettel third, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Magnussen, Ocon, Perez, Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Ericsson, Alonso, Stroll, Van Dorn, Sainz, who was 2 laps down, Sirotkin, Pierre Gasly, and Brandon Hartley. That's it for this race, folks. Hope you enjoyed the race analysis. See you in around 10 days' time after the Japanese Grand Prix.